Alderman Boyd, you can now begin.
Alderman, you're muted.
Jeffrey, you're muted.
Thank you. The Streets, Traffic, and Refuse Committee will now call to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Murphy.
Here.
Alderman Coder.
Here.
Alderwoman Martin.
Here.
Alderwoman Boyd.
Here.
Alderman Bosley. Alderman Bosley, you're muted.
Present.
Alderwoman Middlebrook.
Present.
Chairman Boyd.
Present.
Having present, you have quorum.
Okay, we'll move to item number 4 on the agenda, approval of the minutes. I'll entertain a motion on approval of minutes for June 4th.
I move to approve the minutes of the June 4th, 2020 Streets Committee meeting.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved in second. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderwoman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Coder.
Aye.
Alderwoman Martin.
Aye.
Alderwoman Boyd.
Aye.
Alderman Bosley. You're muted, Alderman Bosley.
Aye.
Alderwoman Middlebrook.
Muted.
Aye.
Aye.
Boyd.
I'm muted.
Chairman Boyd.
Aye.
7 aye votes.
Okay, by your vote, you approve the minutes. The first item up on the agenda will be Board Bill number 69, sponsored by Alderwoman Davis. Alderwoman Davis, you're recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. Board Bill 69 is a alley vacation. It's a conditional use. It has boundaries of Martin Luther King, 19th Street, Belmar, and 20th. And to give you reference for where that is, if you know where Gateway Classic is, and you also know where the Franklin Senior Living Apartments, it sits in between it. It's vacant building's been vacant for probably 15, 20 years, eyesore, a lot of problems there. But we do have some developers who are looking to develop that property. And in order to consolidate the property into one for safety and security reasons, we'd like to vacate that alley. You have all the necessary documents in your Google Drive from the street department. All the studies have been done, the maps are there, and I am ready for any questions that maybe you would like to ask me. And I thought I saw one of the developers online.
Okay, let's go through. Where am I? Alderwoman Murphy, do you have any questions?
No questions. I see that Alderman from the 19th Ward did all her homework as usual. So it's fine with me. Thank you.
Alderman Kotar.
No questions.
Alderwoman Martin.
No questions. Thank you.
Alderwoman Pam Boyd.
No questions.
Alderman Bosley.
No questions.
Alderwoman Middlebrook.
No questions. Thank you.
Okay, Alderwoman Davis, you said there were some participants on the line? I mean,
I thought I saw one, but you know, I get everybody's names mixed up these days. There's too many of them. No, it's not. I see who that was. No, it's not. No, it's not.
all right, so I'll entertain a motion on Board Bill 69.
I move that we
I move
adopt
that we
Board
adopt
Bill
Board Bill
69, the due pass recommendation.
Second.
Previous roll.
Hearing no objection to previous roll, Board Bill 69 comes out of committee with a due pass recommendation. Next Board Bill up will be Board
Thank you.
You're welcome. Board Bill number 43, sponsored by Alderman Bosley.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the committee. As you know, the third ward is one of the most, underdeveloped places in the city. So as part of the North Side, we have a lot of desolate buildings. A lot of our land masses contain old alleys where there used to be houses that have been inoperable for a very, very long time. So in time, we'll be coming across more and more of these vacations along the corridor where Jefferson exists, because there will be companies coming in wanting to build. And that's no different from what is going on right now. This is the board bill, I believe, for Cincinnati, where they are acquiring land and have acquired some more land within the ward, which had an alley in it, and we're just trying to vacate it. It's just a simple vacation so they can continue on with their plan and expansion.
Okay, let's see if we have any questions for members of the committee. Alderwoman Murphy.
No questions, because it's in your ward, sir.
Thank you.
Alderman Kotar.
No questions.
Alderwoman Martin.
No questions.
Alderwoman Pam Boyd.
No questions.
Alderwoman Middlebrook.
No questions.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion on Board Bill 43.
I move that we adopt Board Bill 43 with a due pass recommendation.
Second.
Previous roll.
It's been moved in second. Hearing no objection to previous roll, Board Bill 43 comes out of committee with due pass recommendation. Next, Board Bill before us is Board Bill number 68. Alderman Bosley, you're recognized on Board Bill 68. Alderman Bosley. Is he frozen? Uh-oh. Alderman Bosley, can you hear us? You're on mute.
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you. You're recognized on Board Bill number 68.
All right, thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. So once again, this is another simple vacation. This is for Doorways and Rides. We have a $10 million development right along Jefferson, which has been, once again, there's an old club called Lavish that has been vacant for some time. The landmass around it also has been vacant for some time.
Okay.
All right. Okay, I thought somebody said something. Yeah, so the land itself has been vacant for some time. Doorways has acquired this landmass and has put together this project in the ward that we've been approved by HUDs. We just once again want to have a simple alley vacation so we can continue with the project itself.
Let's go around and see if the committee have any questions. Alderwoman Murphy.
No questions. I'm glad you're having some development up there.
Alderman Kotar.
No questions.
Alderwoman Martin.
No questions.
Alderwoman Pam Boyd.
No questions.
Alderwoman Middlebrook.
No questions, thank you.
You guys are making this real easy. Okay, I'll entertain a motion on Board Bill 68.
I move that we adopt Board Bill 68 with a due pass recommendation.
Second.
It's been moved in second.
Previous row.
Hearing no objection to previous roll, Board Bill 68 comes out of committee with a due pass recommendation. Next board bill before us is Board Bill number 73, sponsored by Alderwoman Pam Boyd. You're recognized, Alderwoman Boyd.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee. This board bill is to discourage the panhandling on the corners and setting up tables and shops in our ward because we're not a vending district. And so we're asking that the committee support this bill because it causes a lot of discouraging and it turns people off and it interferes with the businesses that are working within the ward.
Okay, Alderman Boyd, so you're saying you're not a, did we lose you? You're not a vending district, is that
I'm
correct?
here. Yes, sir. We're not a vending district.
And so therefore, we already have an ordinance that covers vending districts, right?
Yeah.
So what are we doing with this ordinance? We are amending it to what?
Right. We're amending the vending that's going on the street because we're running into the problems of the free phones and the people setting up the balloons and those tables. And so it causes a distraction. It's a safety issue. And so with our business district, they're trying to rebuild that strip and on West Florissant, Goodfellow, and Riverview. And so that's not something that we're looking to have within our community.
Okay. But if they don't have a license, then the license collector's office will come out there and they'll have to move on, right? What is this bill actually doing? That's what I want to be clear.
So it's stopping because what we have found out, what I have found out, Mr. Chair, is a lot of them don't have licenses. And so then we're struggling to try to get them to shut down because you'll call the license office and then we have to call the police. And so they're feeling they don't need a license. A lot of these people are just setting up shop and they feel they don't need a license or permit to do this. So
what will this bill do?
This bill would discourage and let them know that that's not allowed in our area. And you cannot do it, period. We don't want it over there, period. I talked to the residents, I talked to the business association. They don't want them peddling, period.
Right. So currently you're not a vending district, right?
Right.
So they shouldn't be doing any of this, period,
anyway,
right?
It should be happening at all.
Okay. I'm going to take a question from other members of the committee. I might want to chat a little bit more about this. Alderwoman Murphy.
No questions. I'm not sure either. It's like a bill on a bill. I mean, I'm not sure either.
Okay, Alderman Kotar.
Yeah, I guess, so this is amending, I'm looking at the bill here. Is this amending the existing vending code to add these coupons as something that's prohibited in the vending, under the vending code? Is that all we're doing?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So yeah, guys, if you pull the bill up, I guess looking at it, this doesn't really get, I mean, I have a bunch of vending districts. This doesn't really give me any heartburn, basically just clarifying that in addition to sales, you can't offer stuff for free to induce other purchases.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay.
No, I don't have any other questions.
Alderman Bosley. Looks like he's saying he has no question. I'm trying to read his lips, which I'm not good at.
Unmute yourself, Brandon.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're still muted.
This phone is going in and out.
You have any
Is
questions?
my line the only one that keeps freezing up?
Probably is where you at, Brandon.
I'm at the park.
Do you have
Probably don't have Wi-Fi.
We giving out food.
You have any questions?
Yes, I don't know. So that's what all I was saying. I just wanted to have the big change to take. We just adding, that coupon part, and I kind of get the same thing going on around here. So I'm with it.
Got it. Okay, Alderwoman Middlebrook.
I have no questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think I'm clearer now.
Thank you.
It's the coupons and the free stuff. Got it. Okay.
Right.
I see why they think they don't have, because they're giving it away for free. They think they don't have to have a license. Got it.
Right.
Okay.
But it's not really free because they wind up people get a bill.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the bait and switch deal.
Right.
Okay. I will entertain a motion on Bill 73.
I move.
Oh, wait.
Thank you.
I move.
You forgot me.
Oh, sorry, Alderwoman Martin.
I was gonna kill this. I really like this a lot. I have a big problem with this along South Broadway, Michigan. So I'm gonna look into this. So thank you.
Okay, sorry about
Thank you.
Okay, back to a motion on Board Bill 73. Looked like Alderwoman Murphy was going to make a motion, but she's on the phone now, so.
I move that we adopt.
I move that we pay for bill.
Go ahead, Brandon, sorry.
Okay, I move that we adopt Board Bill 73 with a due pass recommendation.
Second.
Previous roll.
Thank
Been moved in second. Hearing no objection to previous roll, Board Bill 73 comes out of committee to do pass recommendation. Next, before us, resolutions. Resolution number 22, sponsored by Alderman Coulter. You're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman, members of the committee. I know I've had a chance to talk to most of you about Resolution 22. What this is seeking to do is authorize basically the Streets Committee to investigate the contracting processes of the Treasurer's Office, specifically relating to the Hudson and Associates contract, which has been a topic of great discussion in front of this committee in the last meeting, and there's been a lot of letters flying back and forth from the treasurer and from the city councilor and whatnot. And you know, in light of all this, there seems to be some real confusion about whether this is a valid agreement or not. You know, I think it would behoove this committee to look into the contract, to look into the RFP process that occurred, to I guess select this vendor, and then the approval process or lack of approval process of the parking commission or any other you know, government office that has anything to do with the parking division. I mean, the comptroller did not countersign. The city council did not approve this as to form. It doesn't appear on its face to be subject to appropriation. I've got a number of questions about this, and frankly, we're not getting very clear answers. So what we're seeking to do here is to authorize the Streets Committee granting us subpoena power in a limited capacity to look into the contracting processes of the treasurer and to subpoena Hudson and Associates. And it's I have a simple amendment to clarify something in a minute. I've communicated to the treasurer's office that it's not the committee's intention, at least as the sponsor of this resolution, to be hauling people down and lobbying subpoenas willy-nilly. I mean, we're going to continue to work in a cooperative manner in any investigation with any office or any third party that we're seeking documents from. We'll request them in a letter. You know, we'll request, if we want any testimony, we'll request that at a mutually convenient time. If for some reason we get to a standstill, or if there's any sort of stonewalling, it's only at that time that I envision, you know, exercising any subpoena power of the committee, assuming it's granted here and approved by the full board. I do have two simple amendments, Chairman, if you want me to take those up now or after questions.
Why don't we go ahead and take up the amendments?
Okay, so there's two amendments in your Google Drive, Amendment 1 and Amendment 2, and they're very simple. Both amendments do, it's the same thing in two different paragraphs. In the last two paragraphs of the resolution, so paragraphs 13 and 14, even though they're not technically numbered, that's where they appear. Where it says both amendments seek to do the same thing. It's where it says representatives of Hudson and Associates LLC. I'm seeking to remove that and replace that with Hudson and Associates LLC, its agents, employees, and or representatives, just to clarify that it's Hudson and its basically various entities affiliated with Hudson and Associates. So that would be amendment number 1 would modify that language in paragraph 13. Amendment number 2 would modify that same language in paragraph 14, the last paragraph.
Okay. You want to make a motion on the adoption of your amendments?
Yes, I would move to adopt amendment number 1 to resolution 22.
So moved.
Can we get a second?
Just need a second.
It's been moved.
Second.
It's been moved to second.
Yeah, we definitely finna take care of you.
Any objection to this roll? Hearing none, amendment number 1 is adopted. Alderman Coulter, you're recognized on our amendment.
Thank you, Chairman. I'd move to adopt amendment number 2 to resolution 22.
So moved.
Second. Can you get a second? Alderman Murphy, you want a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been seconded by Alderman from the 27th.
Previous roll.
Hearing no objection, previous roll, amendment number 2 is adopted to resolution number 22. Okay, so why don't we now go around and take questions from members of the committee? Alderwoman Murphy.
I said, no question. It seems pretty clear and open. We want the right, the authority, I guess, to subpoena to delve into where and how these contracts came about. So apparently we haven't received sufficient answers, especially about the Hudson one. So yes, I mean, I have no questions. It seems fine to me.
Okay, Alderwoman Martin.
I don't have any questions. I think it's important that we exercise this, but I will say I spoke with the treasurer's office and I know that they did want to testify, and I understand that they've had opportunity and they will have opportunity, but I do think if we are just referring to any office with the legislation, I think it's right to let them testify. So, but with that said, I will support the measure. Thank you.
Alderwoman Pam Boyd.
I kind of support what our colleagues are saying. I don't have a problem with it. And I guess I'm just looking at, we need to become more transparent and ensure that everybody is doing what they need to be doing.
Okay, Alderman Bosley.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. I definitely support the measure, and I just want to be clear, you know, on why I think it's extremely important, not only just for the treasurer's office, but for all offices at this point that we're working towards building transparency with. I think the treasurer is not intentionally being evasive, or I don't think she is not trying to give out information, but I think in the sake of transparency and us not getting the information that we need when we ask for it, when there is any situation at all where the board has asked for sufficient information and we continue to ask for the information and don't get it, I think we should not only play hardball with the treasurer's office, we need to play hardball with everybody. So in light of that, I 100% support this bill and support what it is that we're trying to do, trying to bring some transparency, you know, more transparency to governance. So thank you.
Alderwoman Middlebrook.
I do support this, and I agree with my colleagues. Transparency is important, and it's important that everyone does get a chance to voice their say in what's going on. So I support this. Thank you.
And I would say that Mr. Jared Boyd from the Treasurer's Office did ask if they could speak on the resolution. This is a legislative act. There's no need for public comment. Mr. Boyd and other members of the Treasurer's Office staff will have plenty of time to talk about what's going on. There's no need to talk about the resolution in a public forum. So therefore, I'm not taking any public comments or debate on that. We don't anticipate that there should be a problem, you know, getting documents, but we don't want to have to come back to the Board of Aldermen in case it's necessary at the end of the day. But I do see our colleague Annie Rice, and if she had a comment, I would allow her to make a comment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't really have any comment. I'm just tuning in on meetings as I'm at home here. Thank you.
Okay. So with that, I'll entertain a motion on resolution 22.
I move that we adopt resolution 22 as amended with a due pass recommendation.
Second.
Request previous roll.
Hearing no objection to previous roll, resolution number 22 comes out of committee with a due pass recommendation. Next.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome. We'll go to announcements. Anyone have any announcements? Let's go. Alderwoman Murphy.
No, thank you.
Alderman Kotar.
No announcements.
Alderwoman Martin.
No announcements.
Alderwoman Pam Boyd.
No question. I mean, no announcements. I'm sorry.
Alderman Bosley. Mute. You're on mute, Alderman Bosley.
No.
Okay.
No announcements.
No announcements. Thank you.
No announcements. Okay. We're at the end of our agenda, and I'm going to call the Streets, Traffic, and Refuge Committee adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.